So, picture this. It's my wedding day. My wedding day. The day I've dreamed about since I was a little girl, you know? The white dress, the flowers, the ridiculously expensive cake that I probably won't even eat because of nerves. And there I am, about to walk down the aisle, heart pounding, teary-eyed, looking out at all these beautiful faces, and then I spot them. Empty seats. Right there in the front row. The ones reserved for my parents. And that's when my maid of honor, bless her heart, whispers to me, "Your sister just posted on Instagram. She's having a surprise party today. And your parents are there." My stomach dropped faster than my hopes for a normal family, I swear to God. A surprise party? On my wedding day? Who does that? Let me tell you, that was just the grand finale of a long, painful symphony of my sister's absolute, unhinged narcissism. But to really get it, we gotta rewind. Way back. My sister, Clara, has always been a lot. Like, a lot with a capital L. Growing up, everything was a competition. My first steps? She probably tried to one-up them with a backflip. My good grades? She'd suddenly become a child prodigy in a new language. My first boyfriend? She somehow managed to get him to accidentally spill juice on my prom dress. Yeah, she was that sister. Our parents, bless their naive hearts, always just chalked it up to Clara being Clara or her strong personality. Meanwhile, I was usually the one picking up the pieces, both literally and emotionally. I always tried to be the peacemaker, the understanding one. Oh, she didn't mean it, I'd tell myself. She's just a bit misguided. You know? Classic older sister delusion. Fast forward to a year and a half ago, when Mark, the love of my life and the most patient man on the planet, proposed. It was perfect. On a hike at sunset, he got down on one knee and I, of course, ugly cried and said yes. Immediately, I called my parents. They were thrilled, or at least, they sounded thrilled over the phone. Then I called Clara. She gave me a very enthusiastic, "Oh, that's nice, I guess. Congrats." Total buzzkill, but honestly, I expected nothing less. My happiness was rarely her happiness. The real drama started, like, 6 months ago. Wedding planning was in full swing. We had the venue, the caterer, the DJ, the dress, oh the dress. Everything was coming together. I was so excited, sending my parents updates, showing them pictures of the floral arrangements, trying on my veil for them on video calls. They seemed genuinely happy for me. My mom was even helping me with some DIY decorations, which was actually really sweet. Then, out of nowhere, Clara calls me. "Hey," she says, all casual, "so, I was thinking of throwing a big birthday bash for myself this year." I'm like, "Okay, when?" And she goes, "Oh, you know, just sometime this spring or summer." Nothing definite yet. My internal alarm bells started ringing, but I brushed it off. I was too wrapped up in table linens and seating charts to really dwell on it. A few weeks later, my mom calls me, a little hesitant. "Honey," she starts, "Clara was talking about her birthday party again. She's really set on a specific date, but, well, it's pretty close to your wedding." I felt a knot in my stomach. "Mom, what date is it?" I asked, already dreading the answer. "It's July 15th, she said, almost apologetically. "My wedding day. July 15th. I literally almost dropped my phone. "Mom, are you serious?" "That's my wedding day. She knows that." My mom sighed. Well, she said it's the only day that works for her venue, and it's a really special one for her, you know, being exactly halfway through the year. I couldn't even process it. "Mom, this isn't a random Tuesday. This is my wedding. She's doing this on purpose." And this is where the gaslighting began. My mom tried to smooth it over. "Oh, honey, don't be so dramatic. It's just a party. People can go to both, right? Your wedding is in the evening, her party is in the afternoon." I was like, "Mom, no. That's not how this works. You can't expect people to bounce from one event to another on the same day, especially when one is a wedding." I was fuming, you know? Like, my blood was starting to boil. I tried to talk to Clara. Oh, I tried. Clara, I said, trying to keep my voice even, I heard about your party. July 15th? That's my wedding day. What are you doing? She played completely innocent. Oh my God, is it? No way. I had no idea. What a crazy coincidence. Well, I already booked everything, so. She even had the audacity to suggest I move my wedding date. I mean, yours is just a date, right? My party is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing. A once-in-a-lifetime birthday party. Are you kidding me? That's when I realized this wasn't just Clara being Clara. This was a calculated, deliberate move. She wanted to steal my thunder. She wanted to make my day about her. And the worst part? My parents were enabling her. They kept saying things like, well, we can just split our time, or it's important to support both our daughters. Split their time? At my wedding? The audacity. The next few weeks were a nightmare. Every time I called my parents, they'd somehow bring up Clara's amazing party plans. They'd talk about how much fun it was going to be, how many people were RSVPing. It was like they completely forgot I was getting married. I started to feel this cold, hollow ache in my chest. It wasn't just anger anymore. It was deep, profound disappointment. My own parents were choosing sides, and it wasn't mine. I even had to sit down with them. A serious, come-to-Jesus meeting. I explained how much this hurt me, how it felt like they were prioritizing Clara's ego over my monumental life event. My dad just mumbled something about not wanting to cause a scene, and my mom said, "We love you both equally, sweetie. It's just a busy day for us." Busy? Yeah, busy choosing which daughter to upset. The breaking point for me actually wasn't the party itself. It was 2 weeks before the wedding. My mom called me all excited, talking about a special outfit she'd bought. "Oh, it's this really beautiful floral dress," she gushed. "It'll be perfect for Clara's party." I paused. "Mom," I said, trying to stay calm, "what about my wedding? What are you wearing to my wedding?" There was a beat of silence. Then she said, "Oh, well, I was just going to wear something simple, you know. Nothing too fancy, since I'll be coming from Clara's." That was it. That was the moment. The dress for Clara's fake party was more important than the dress for her own daughter's wedding. It was like a switch flipped in my head. All the years of trying to be understanding, of giving her the benefit of the doubt, of being the bigger person, it all just evaporated. I finally saw it for what it was, blatant disrespect. And my parents were right there, hand in hand with her. I hung up the phone and just cried. Ugly cried, you know? Like, snot and tears everywhere. Mark found me and just held me. He's such a gem. He didn't say, "I told you so," even though he totally could have. He just listened and held me and told me he loved me. And in that moment, something shifted. The sadness turned into this quiet, burning resolve. I wasn't going to let them ruin my day. I was going to have my wedding, and it was going to be beautiful no matter what. And they weren't going to get away with it. So I made a plan. A quiet one. I didn't tell Mark all the details because I didn't want him to worry, but I knew what I had to do. I called my Aunt Carol, my mom's sister, who has always been in my corner. I explained everything. Aunt Carol, bless her sassy heart, was furious. "Those fools," she declared. "Don't you worry, sweetie. You just focus on being beautiful. I'll handle the rest." I still don't know what she did, but let me tell you, when wedding day arrived, there were definitely some interesting developments. Now, back to the wedding day. My parents' seats are empty. Clara's Instagram post is up, showing her with a ridiculously oversized "Happy Birthday, Clara" banner, balloons, and yep, my parents smiling right there next to her. It was a punch to the gut, but also, I felt strangely calm. Because I knew what was coming. I walked down the aisle, tears in my eyes, but this time, they weren't just sad tears. They were also tears of defiance. I saw Mark standing there, looking so handsome, his eyes full of love, and all the hurt just faded a little. This was my day with him. And everyone else who chose to be there for me. The ceremony was beautiful. Truly. My remaining family, my friends, Mark's family, everyone was so supportive, so genuinely happy. It was everything I ever wanted, despite the gaping hole in the front row. During the reception, as everyone was eating and laughing and dancing, I saw my parents finally walk in. They looked frazzled, like they'd been rushing. My mom's simple outfit was, well, too simple for a wedding, and she had a smudge of what looked like cake frosting on her cheek. My dad was pulling at his tie, looking uncomfortable. They tried to slink into their seats, but my Aunt Carol, who had been strategically positioned, caught them. Well, 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 Aunt Carol boomed, loud enough for a few tables to hear. Look who finally decided to grace us with their presence. Did Clara's surprise party run out of actual surprises? My mom flushed bright red. My dad just mumbled, "Carol, please." But Aunt Carol wasn't done. She turned to me, a mischievous glint in her eye, and then back to my parents. "You know," she said, "it takes a special kind of dedication to miss your own daughter's wedding ceremony for a fake birthday party. Especially when the surprise party was actually for, wait for it, Clara's cat." The room went silent. You could literally hear a pin drop. My jaw dropped too. Clara's cat. My mom spluttered. It was a celebration of her cat's first year with her. And Clara made it seem like it was for her. Aunt Carol just raised an eyebrow. "Yes, dear. A celebration that just happened to fall on your other daughter's wedding day. And required you to miss the vows. Priorities, I guess." Then the DJ, who Aunt Carol had clearly prepped, cut the music and announced, "And now, a special message from our lovely bride to all her beloved family and friends." My heart pounded, but I walked up to the microphone. I took a deep breath, looked at Mark, who gave me a reassuring smile, and then I looked directly at my parents, who were now shrinking in their seats. First, I said, my voice clear and steady, "I want to thank everyone here for sharing this incredibly special day with Mark and me. Your presence means the world to us." I paused, letting my gaze linger on my parents. And to those who had other pressing engagements today, I continued, "I hope your surprise party was everything you dreamed of." My voice started to crack a little, but I pushed through. Because for me, today is about love, commitment, and choosing to be present for the people who truly matter. And honestly, seeing so many of you here, celebrating with us, makes it even more clear who those people are. I looked at Mark again, a genuine smile spreading across my face. "Mark, you are my family. And to everyone else here, thank you for being our family today." The room erupted in applause. People were cheering, some were crying happy tears. My parents, on the other hand, looked like they wanted the floor to swallow them whole. They didn't come up to me, didn't try to apologize. They just sat there, looking utterly miserable. The rest of the night was pure magic. My friends and Mark's family rallied around us, making sure we felt nothing but love. My parents left early, without saying goodbye, which honestly was probably for the best. So, what happened next? Well, Clara was furious, of course. She called me the next day, screaming about how I ruined her party and embarrassed her. I just laughed. Laughed, you guys. It felt so good. I told her that she got exactly what she deserved. And I hung up. I actually hung up on her. For the first time in my life. My parents tried to smooth things over a few weeks later. They called, tried to apologize, but it felt hollow. They still couldn't quite admit that what they did was wrong, or that they had actively chosen Clara over me. They just said, we were caught in the middle. I told them that being caught in the middle was still a choice and they chose wrong. I told them I needed space. A lot of space. And honestly, it's been pretty quiet on the family front since then. I talked to Aunt Carol a lot, though. She's the real MVP. It was messy. It was heartbreaking. But you know what? It was also incredibly liberating. It taught me who my real family is, and it made my bond with Mark even stronger. My wedding day wasn't perfect, but it was perfectly mine. And in the end, that's all that truly mattered. So yeah, that's the story of how my sister tried to hijack my wedding and how I finally found my voice. It wasn't the fairy tale I imagined, but it was real. And sometimes real is even better. If you want to hear more crazy family drama stories, and trust me, I've got a whole vault of them, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you won't believe what happened with my cousin and the stolen inheritance next. You're gonna want to hear about that.